This is another example of how I used ICTs to teach students about new concepts. So within this playwriting unit, I used this PowerPoint which has been exported from the Smartboard program so that I could demonstrate how the lesson flowed. This lesson was about sound effects and narrators. So we first watched this video which catered to visual and auditory learners, and it was from students within an American school who were exploring Reader's Theatre as well. They were creating sound effects for things like a door slamming or a door screeching and what they would sound like, what they would look like in their play scripts. We then did this activity with our class as well. We then had a look at what the point of having sound effects in a play is and use this PowerPoint to give students extra information. We then moved on to stage directions, and the students had a look at some visuals of what the stage looks like, and they also catered to linguistic learners because there was a lot of text explaining new concepts to the students. We then worked as a class to create our own play script from Little Red Riding Hood. So I gave the students a Little Red Riding text, and this was printed out for them. I sourced it from the internet, and this story caters to all learners in the class. It's a fairly easy story for all students to understand, and they're all aware of the Little Red Riding Hood story, which makes it a little bit easier for them to turn it into a play script. So this was sourced from the internet and then printed for each student to have on their desk. We then worked as a class, and I brought up a blank Microsoft Word document onto the interactive whiteboard, and the students had to help me in creating a play script. So they would look at the first part and decide whether it was the narrator talking Little Red Riding Hood or the wolf, and they would tell me how to create the play script. This worked really well because they could see it on the board, and then they could also write it in their books if they wanted to. So this is what we ended up coming up with from the lesson. We had the heading, they learnt to include the characters, then the setting, and then they had a look at the dialogue and who would speak. And having this all on the interactive whiteboard and the use of ICT really helped this lesson flow.